Dun, 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 dun. And welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining. I am recording this and releasing this right before the Super Bowl kickoff. So this is a special edition of Journal Entry. And Journal Entry, for those who don't know, is my time every week to just go over, reflect back on the last week and my brick life. Some things are in my personal life, just random thoughts of the week, and everything in between. So thank you so much. There's been a lot of folks that may be new to the channel. I appreciate you so much for joining in. And again, if you love Lego, if you love Star Wars, if you love just doing things a little bit differently, make sure to like, subscribe. I'd be happy to welcome you in the community. And we've had a lot of huge announcement on the channel is that we absolutely went from the channel went from in the 260, 270 subscriber range, well over 300 this last week. So for all of those that are new, again, I really appreciate you. I love to hear feedback, so any commentary is definitely welcome, especially on this videos. It's kind of a journal to myself and also happy to interact with anybody. So it's been just a fantastic week. Again, let's go over real quick the actual week in review. If I go back to the channel, which I already feels like these weeks, and are we already like way past are we getting past mid-February already? It's just nuts. Yeah, last week I said it was cold outside. Well, now today it's over 50 degrees. Go figure. And so I walked the dog and did a bunch of stuff. It's just pretty wild. I think it's not my last review, but I'm done building advent calendars. I don't have anything there. And then I did do my secret store haul where I snuck out and did the 501st Battle Pack. So make sure to check out that review. The review should come out, I think it's either next week or the following week. So I try to do them as close as possible. The other thing is I've been doing a lot of my Pick-a-Brick Wall videos. See if I have any current. No, I think I've got them all set right now. But there's one coming up on wedges. I've got another one that's on plates. So I've got a couple more, and then I want to do like a big analysis video that really kind of covers the different ways the Pick-a-Brick Wall is a great value, or maybe where it's not a great value. I mean, if you're 5 hours away from, I've been hearing a lot of feedback. Hey, I'm 5 hours away from a Lego store. What the heck am I supposed to do? What do you recommend? And I probably should do a video around that. Here's the Lego store. Hey, if you go to Pick-a-Brick Wall and Lego.com, here's the advantages there. Like here's Bricklink, which is always better price, but then there's also a lot of fees and different things, and some of those parts might be used. I don't know. So it's an interesting thing, I think, the analysis of the Pick-a-Brick Wall. I did go over the 501st experience. Then I've been doing a lot of just random vlogs and stuff like that. My kind of prepping, which has been, this castle is just amazing, and I can't wait to modify it. So might as well. This is the Super Bowl episode. Oh, two more things that I want to get into before I forget. One is it was a great week on Mercari. It's been kind of the theme for the last few weeks. Things were kind of dead. They picked up a little bit. They tapered off a little, and then now it's back in motion. I did a whole bunch of more cleaning out and working with my wife on stuff that we want to get rid of. So I've posted a ton of stuff on the Journal of the Scots Mercari store, and there's been a lot of activity there. Great news was that I was able to, via community support, so if you're not using Mercari today, I highly recommend it as a Lego fan. It's pretty solid. eBay's good, Bricklink is great, and then having Mercari is another great option. And I'm happy to say that I was able to get something special that I've been really, really wanting. I was a little down that Lego.com. I wasn't able to get it, and now it's gone, but now it may be on the way, coming on the way to Journal of the Scots for another haul. So that's been pretty exciting this week. all the things that are happening. And let's get into the football predictions. That's where I'm at. And this is kind of a tough. I've been watching football for a long time. I feel like this is a little bit of a classic match, NFC AFC matchup, because you've got the team in Kansas City that's known for their offense, but they probably have a little bit of an underrated defense to an extent. But again, there's Patrick Mahomes, and I feel like you can't count him out. The question is he going to be as mobile? Does it matter if he's even as mobile? I mean, he'll be definitely moving around the pocket just fine. It's just a matter of, is he going to break, is he going to do any damage with his feet? Who knows? Their running game is decent. It's pretty good, and they have a good offensive line. I think that's something that is probably one of the most underrated themes of the NFL, is how important a strong offensive line is. Because if you look at Philly and Kansas City, both of them, as long as they're healthy, we're considered top 10, I think, offensive lines in the NFL. And look what they're in the Super Bowl now. I think if you have talent, and then you have that strong, in the trenches warriors that are talented and kind of make things happen and make holes and buy time. Like every fraction of a second matters. So that offensive line is a critical deal. So in some sense, I feel like it's hard to tell from a matchup standpoint who has a clear advantage. I think in terms of experience, Kansas City has that. I think they've got some X factors to win the game. Like Travis Kelce could just blow this game up, and I feel like the last few weeks he's been just blowing teams up and really kind of scaring teams into having to scheme around him. And then you have role players really stepping up, like MVS, Marquise Valdes-Scantling, and those kind of guys that are more role players that are coming out of nowhere, scoring touchdowns and doing different things. And I think it's kind of interesting that they were able to lose Tyreek Hill and yet still kind of keep that offensive moving. Now, the one thing I would say for Philly is they have probably one of the most dangerous combinations to have in the NFL. You have a pretty mobile quarterback. I mean, he's not known for his feet necessarily. We'll have to see. Jalen Hurts, to me, is kind of an X factor. He's definitely playing well this season, but they have what I call is just the most important piece. They have a really good running game, an offense, a great offensive line, and then they have not one, but two, I think, star receivers, right? So A.J. Brown, you have Devontae Smith. Those guys are really, really tough. And then you've got a lot of X factor guys like Gainwell. Miles Sanders is tough out of the backfield. So in theory, you may have to cover 3-4 guys sometimes coming out of the backfield. And so I think they can make some matchups work. But it's hard to say if that's enough. And their defense has been pretty solid. I mean, overall, really, really good. So it should be interesting. I'm going to predict. I mean, ultimately, in all the polls that I ever do, I just think it's really hard to say no to Kansas City in this one. I think it's enough. They have enough of an experience. Andy Reid is really solid. Patrick Mahomes, to me, is that kind of has got that Tom Brady factor where late in games you don't want to be facing Patrick Mahomes. So even if they're up by 10 points or 14 points in the fourth quarter, I don't know if I would just the only factor to me is then Philly's got that run game. They can play that ball control, which Andy Reid is certainly capable of doing. Being from the Holmgren tree, Mike Holmgren was the king at once he was ahead, he would ball control and he would go into that dink and dunk and just get first downs. And the next thing you know, your defense was tired because they were controlling the ball and controlling the time clock. So I think it's an interesting thing, but I'm going to give Kansas City the nod in this. Hopefully I'm right. So with that, that's the predictions. Thank you so much for joining me, and we'll catch you on the next one. Enjoy your Super Bowl. Hopefully it won't be half in the bag when I do my next one, and we'll go from there. Bye for now.